The smug Voth Council members scoffed at humanity's only hope. A rusted bucket of bolts once called a battleship. Their howls of alien laughter rattled the bulkheads, until that ship ripped a hole through dimensions. Tharos stared at the holographic image of the USS Missouri, hovering in the center of his spaceship's meeting room. Rust caked the ancient vessel's hull, pockmarking its surface like the craters of some long-dead moon. Thrusters, weapons, and sensor arrays hung off the ship at awkward angles, clearly the work of engineers struggling to retrofit an ocean-going craft for the rigors of space travel. His young aide, Xylac, laughed openly at the sight. This is what the humans bring to challenge us? A floating junkyard? The Council is right to mock them. Tharos sighed, his eyes heavy with the weight of centuries spent watching younger races stumble their way onto the galactic stage. The humans are new to this, yes, but they learn quickly, they adapt. They have a habit of turning their weaknesses into surprising strengths. Xylac waved a dismissive hand at the hologram. Adapting to space is one thing. Challenging the might of the Voth Empire is another entirely. Our cruisers will swat that primitive ship aside like an insect. A grim smile tugged at the corners of Tharos's mouth. That's what we thought too. Then the Missouri did the impossible. It went faster than light. Xylac's eyes widened as he leaned forward, gripping the table. Impossible? How did the humans manage that? Tharos tapped a control, bringing up a video feed that showed the Missouri engaged in a simulated battle with one of the Voth's most advanced cruisers. The human ship looked clunky and outdated next to the sleek alien vessel, its weapons barely making a dent in the Voth's shields. But then something incredible happened. The Missouri's engines flared with a blinding light, and the ship vanished from the screen. A split second later, it reappeared behind the Voth cruiser. Before the Voth could even begin to turn and face the threat, the Missouri unleashed a devastating barrage of missiles and railgun rounds. The cruiser's engines sputtered and died, its weapons falling silent. Xylac stared at the display, his mouth agape. They jumped to FTL speeds, but that should be impossible with their primitive chemical propulsion systems. Tharos nodded, a glimmer of respect in his ancient eyes. The humans found a way. Our scouts report that they salvaged technology from our ships and those of the Kralians, combining it with their own unique designs to create a hybrid FTL drive. Something no one in the galaxy thought was possible. He tapped another control, switching to a video feed from inside the Missouri's bridge. Captain David Bailey and his crew worked in perfect synchronicity, their movements precise and efficient, despite the chaotic battle raging around them. The humans have a saying, Tharos mused, improvise, adapt, overcome. They may not have the most advanced ships or weapons, but they more than make up for it with their ingenuity and determination. They have a remarkable ability to turn their weaknesses into strengths. Xylac frowned, his brow furrowed in confusion. But if the humans are so resourceful, why would they still rely on such an ancient vessel? Surely they have the capability to construct newer, more advanced ships by now. Tharos chuckled, shaking his head. But you're thinking like a Voth, young Xylac. Our people build ships to endure for centuries, always incorporating the latest advancements in technology and materials. The humans, however, take a different approach. They build their ships to evolve. He gestured to the holographic image of the Missouri, its patchwork hull a testament to its long history. This ship may appear old and outdated, but it has been continuously upgraded and modified over the years. The humans have a knack for integrating new technologies and adapting to emerging challenges. The Missouri is more than just a ship. It's a symbol of human resilience and innovation. Tharos tapped a few controls, bringing up a detailed schematic of the battleship. Various alien components, grafted onto its hull, glowed in a vibrant array of colors. The Council once attempted to restrict Earth's access to advanced technology, fearing that the humans would misuse it. But they underestimated human ingenuity. The humans found ways to circumvent the embargo, engaging in trade with rogue factions and reverse engineering captured equipment. He zoomed in on a particular section of the ship, highlighting a sleek angular device. They even managed to acquire plans for a Kralian phase cloaking device, which they successfully integrated into the Missouri's systems. This allowed them to infiltrate enemy territory undetected during the Zorgon War, a feat that proved pivotal in turning the tide of the conflict. Zelak's eyes widened as he listened to Tharos recount the pivotal role the Missouri and her crew played in the Zorgon War. I had no idea the humans were so instrumental in turning the tide of that conflict. How did they even find out about the Zorgon's secret supply base? Tharos zoomed in on the star map, highlighting a small, unremarkable system. Our intelligence suggests that the humans intercepted a coded Zorgon transmission that hinted at the existence of a hidden base. While the Council's cryptographers struggled to decipher the message, the humans managed to crack the code using a combination of their own algorithms and a captured Zorgon encryption device. He pulled up a grainy image of a heavily fortified installation nestled among the craters of a barren moon. Once they had the coordinates, the humans wasted no time. They knew that a frontal assault would be suicidal, so they opted for a more subtle approach. Using the stolen Kralian cloaking device, the Missouri slipped past the Zorgon defenses and landed a small team of Marines, led by Captain Bailey himself, on the moon's surface. Tharos played a series of helmet cam clips showing the human soldiers moving silently through the base's corridors, dispatching Zorgon guards with a mix of human and alien weapons. The humans fought their way to the command center, where they engaged in a fierce firefight with the Zorgon leadership. Despite being outnumbered and outgunned, Bailey and his team managed to secure the facility and hack into the Zorgon battle net. Zelak leaned forward, his eyes glued to the display. What did they do once they were in the system? They transmitted false orders to the Zorgon fleet, redirecting ships to phantom targets and causing confusion in their ranks. They also sent out a distress signal, alerting the Council to the location of the secret base. By the time our forces arrived, the Zorgons were in complete disarray, their supply lines severed and their command structure in shambles. Tharos sat back in his chair, a look of admiration on his face. It was a masterful stroke, one that turned the tide of the war in our favor, and it was all thanks to the ingenuity and bravery of the Missouri's crew. They proved that even an aging, retrofitted ship could be a formidable weapon in the right hands. Zelak nodded slowly, his perception of the humans shifting with each revelation. It seems I have underestimated them. Their ability to adapt and innovate is truly remarkable. Zelak leaned back in his chair, his eyes wide with wonder. Incredible! The humans and their Missouri proved themselves time and again, adapting to every challenge thrown their way. But what became of the ship after the Zorgon War? Surely it was retired with honors. Tharos shook his head, a somber expression settling over his features. The Missouri continued to serve, participating in countless battles and diplomatic missions. Even as the ship aged, the humans refused to replace it, insisting that the Missouri had a soul of its own. He paused, his gaze distant as if lost in a painful memory. During the Kralian incursion, the Missouri was part of a joint task force defending a critical refueling station. The Kralians attacked in overwhelming numbers, quickly decimating the station's defenses. Zelak leaned forward, his voice hushed. What happened then? The Missouri, badly damaged and running on fumes, placed itself between the station and the Kralian flagship, absorbing the brunt of the enemy's assault. In a final act of defiance, Captain Bailey ordered a full-power ramming maneuver. Tharos's voice wavered, thick with emotion. The Missouri's reinforced hull punched through the Kralian ship's shields, detonating its antimatter core. The explosion destroyed both vessels, but saved the station. Silence hung heavy in the air as Zelak processed the tale, his eyes glistening with newfound respect. The Council may have scoffed at that ancient warship, but in the end, it was the Missouri and her valiant crew that turned the tide. Tharos nodded, a sad smile tugging at his lips. The humans have a saying, old soldiers never die, they just fade away. The Missouri didn't fade. It went out in a blaze of glory, a testament to the indomitable human spirit. As the two diplomats sat in quiet reflection, their ship glided ever closer to Earth, poised to open a new chapter in the complex tapestry of human-alien relations. You have reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and for every comment that says 88, I will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.